and in the car. AM 1300 KGLO.
Your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, KGLOAM.com. As Ozzie Ohl joins us from the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank to talk about a number of things. How are you doing this morning?
Not too bad, Bob.
All right. Slide into that microphone closer. We want to make sure everybody hears you. And, the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank, obviously an important part of our community. And maybe just to tell us a little bit about what's been going on at the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank lately.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of people coming to the food bank, our neighbors from North Iowa, high gas prices, high food prices, rent increases, utility bills are soaring. All of those things have impacted our neighbors right here in North Iowa. And some might have lost a job or had their hours cut. Maybe they have a car that needs repairs. Maybe they've had a medical emergency. Maybe they've come out of a domestic abuse situation. There's all different situations that come into play. And we see those people coming to Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank because they need emergency food.
And I'm like you say, I'm sure demand has been up with all those things. Especially with the way the economy has been here the last 5-6 months.
It has been a challenge.
I bet. Talk about fundraising events coming up.
Well, Bob, we've got a unique fundraising event. It's called Give Where You Live, and that's what we really want people to do is give where you live. And thanks to numerous local businesses, professional firms, and some individuals and families, we've got a $20,000 challenge match that we're going to provide people the opportunity. So $1 actually equals $2 during the challenge match, and it's going to happen throughout the month of August.
How do people donate to be able to get that $1 to $2?
There are several ways that they can donate. They can go to the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank website, and there's a place to donate there. They can also put a check in the mail to Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank, Post Office Box 1565, Mason City, Iowa, 50402. Or they can drop by Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank any morning between 8:30 and 11, Monday through Friday. Just go to the south garage door, and somebody will be there to help you out. And the thing I think people don't understand, and I want to really emphasize, is you know what that dollar buys?
Yeah, talk a little bit more about, because I know that $1 can buy a lot, or a small amount of money can buy a lot for people.
Yeah. Well, $1, thanks to the Food Bank of Iowa and our partnership with them, buys 6 pounds of food. So if somebody donates $100, it's like they gave $200. Well, that $100 buys 600 pounds of food. Well, double that. Now you're talking 1,200 pounds of food. Bob, you and I have both been to the grocery store. You know what we can get for $100.
Right. And maybe talk a little bit more about when people come to the food bank. Maybe, I'm just trying to get the translation of what does 6 pounds of food, or, whatever amount of pounds of food. What do people, when they come to the food bank, get?
Well,
specifically,
we are the largest all-volunteer food bank in the state of Iowa, served by the Food Bank of Iowa, and we're client-served. So actually, when somebody comes to the food bank, and they all have to qualify, they can only come once a month and get enough food to make meals to last for 4 days. So it's an emergency food bank. So they go with the client helper, and they can pick out food. It's based on the size of the family. So we start with their meat selections, and every family, it's a point system depending on the number in the family. So all the items are clearly marked, and it's kind of like walking through a small grocery store. So 6 pounds of food, can buy, let's say, if a can of corn is, let's call it a pound.
Yeah.
You could buy 6 cans of corn, actually. But when they're going through the food bank, they're picking the items that they really are going to use. They're not just picking items and throwing them in a cart. They're being very selective. They're going from the meat to the canned goods, to the pastas, to the dairy products, milk, eggs, cheese, to the vegetables, and then to the bread. So it's a very dedicated trip, and it's very meaningful to see the people. I remember a few years back where I had a gal came in there and she had a hold of a watermelon, and she said, "I haven't had a watermelon in years." And we know, we've seen the people that come through there, and we know their stories. They're not telling us their stories, but we know. And this is an opportunity because, it's not them, it's our neighbors.
Right.
And we really have to understand it's our neighbors, and there, but for the grace of God, could be any of us. All of a sudden, we have a fragile economy, and somebody's car breaks down. All of these different things can take somebody from seemingly a very good situation into a dire need for emergency food.
And you talk about taking somebody through, as opposed to just getting something that's pre-prepared and boxed up, because I'm sure in that type of a situation, people look in that box. Well, I don't want that. I don't want this. That you want to make sure they're getting what they will consume smartly.
Exactly. When I first joined the food bank, I'd come in there after I retired, and I'd fix boxes of one. And back in the day, that was about in 2010, everybody got cranberries.
Now, not everybody likes cranberries.
No, but that's what we had.
Right, right.
And as we turned to a client choice when we went to our new location, and we've been there since 2014, so it's things have been going well. And as far as being able to serve the people, and it's I think our listeners need to understand the area that we serve people from. We've got 88 towns throughout North Iowa. There are a lot of small communities and other communities where people aren't making really a living wage. They're retired. Social Security doesn't provide everything. Some people have lost their SNAP benefits. So there are a lot of things out there that are happening that cause people. And the other thing is, people, they may come 2 or 3 months, and then they get back on their feet. They get more hours at work. They find a better job. They get into a better situation. The medical expenses, they get that car fixed. All of those things change. So it's not like they're there year after year after year. I want to clear up that misconception.
Before I forget, you're always looking for volunteers at the food bank, right?
We are always looking for volunteers, and the easiest way is just call the food bank and talk to Carol Clayton, and she can talk about the opportunities, because they'll change at different times throughout the year.
All right, let's recap once again this Give Where You Live fundraising event. Once again, $20,000 pledged in a matching challenge money. Is that from a specific business or an anonymous business, or?
There are several local businesses.
And if I don't know if you want to mention any of them or not.
I'd encourage people to follow Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank on our Facebook page,
Okay.
and we'll kind of announce
Okay.
each week who some of the underwriters are and the amount that they're giving. And they're local businesses, and they understand what Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank is trying to do in the community, and they've really stepped up to the plate, so to speak.
All right. Once again, people want to make a donation. Let's give them that information once again here quick.
Go to the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank website. There's a donate place there. You can put a check in the mail, Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank, Post Office Box 1565, Mason City, Iowa, 50402. Or you can stop by Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank. We're located at 122 South Adams, Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 11 o'clock. Just go to the south garage door, and somebody will be there to help you.
All right. Well, we hope we can get that $20,000 matched.
I certainly hope so, because if we can do the 20 and get it matched, that's $40,000 at 6 pounds a dollar. That's 240,000 pounds of food. That's something we all be proud of.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
I think you've covered everything so well, Bob.
All right. Well,
Thank you so much.
We always appreciate you coming in, talking about the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank. Ozzie Ohl with the Hawkeye Harvest Food Bank here in Mason City, here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO.